Hi, I'm Amber. This is Amber's Corner, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a story time. It's a series that I was going to start. I'm trying to start, not haven't started yet. But the only thing about it is I'm still rethinking the name, so I'm not going to even say the name of it. You just see it in the title when you click on this video. But it's basically about a bully I encountered in GD classes. I encountered more than one bully from high school in my GD classes, but this is just one of the ones I remember. So this is the story time about the time I rented my bully camp GD class. So let's okay, so this, like I said, the story takes place when I was in GD. So let's just start from the beginning. So I had multiple bullies when I was in school, like multiple bullies. I had multiple people that was picking on me, multiple people that just, they always had something to say about me. It was a constant stream of people always coming at me when I was in school, and that was just normal. That was just what and it was like a daily thing for me. It was always the case of me having to deal with somebody, and this guy was no different. So I think I met him for the first time ever in middle school. That's when I first came across this dude, this guy. I'm just gonna call him Flip Flop because I like him, and I like flip flops, but I don't like him, and he like a flip flop. So his name is Flip Flop. So Flip Flop was a white guy. Now think about Flip Flop. He was a white guy, but he was like a white guy with a twist. Like he liked everything that the black guys like. It was not uncommon for guys I went to school like that to be like that. Like it was just not uncommon. Even some of the girls was like that. Like they liked everything. He liked everything that he was in the rap music. He liked the girls with butts. Like he liked it, that type of thing. So that was just who he was. So I think we had a class together when I was in, I want to say 7th grade. We had a history class together. I think that's what it was. It was either history or science or a math. I forget. And we had class together, and we used to have lunch together. Our class used to have lunch together, whatever. And so around this time, I want to say that I was getting picked on quite a bit, very frequently by different people. Girls, boys, all of them. Like I went to school with some real life bullies, y'all. Real life bullies. And he was no different. And the thing about him is that I feel like sometimes he only did it because I guess because everybody else was doing it. I don't know. I just get the feeling like he only did it because everybody else would do it. I really didn't think he cared enough about me to like have an opinion on me, but it was a thing to do. So I guess he just hopped on the bandwagon. First encounter with him. Like I told you, we did have a class together. Class, and that class was the class that we actually went to lunch in. I think we went to lunch about like the 3rd period class. That was like our lunch period. So when we got to our 3rd period, we would be in class for like maybe like 30 minutes to an hour, and then we'd go to lunch. Excuse me. So in the lunchroom, like we sat like towards the middle of the lunchroom. Like it was like the tables were sectioned off, and there was like, I want to say like 4 long tables on each side of the lunchroom, and there was like a big stage in the front, because like we used to have assemblies and stuff like that in the lunchroom. And so like anytime we had an assembly, they would always like set chairs. They would move the tables against the wall, and then they would set like chairs up in the lunchroom so we could have like assembly. I think that's also where we had our honors day at. Like, we used to have a lot of stuff in the lunchroom, and it was like a big old stage there. So we sat in the back, like towards the window. We sat like near like where you would go in, where like where you would get in line to go get your lunch at. That's where we sat. And like there was like a big middle part that was empty, that was nothing, and we would walk down that way to get to wherever, either side of the lunchroom. But we always sit on this side of the lunchroom, and we was like the first table that you come to on this side of the lunchroom, in the middle. And so um like I said, tables was very long. So like we just like depending on like what part of the table you sit at, like that's where the crowd would be. So most of the crowd would be like on the back end of the table, like towards the door, leaving the lunchroom. That's where most like that crowd, his crowd would be. That's where they would be at. And so, cause most of my friends sit down there, like we all kind of migrated down there. And like everybody knew, like if you sit down at that table, like you was no exception. Like if they was gonna roast you that day, they was gonna roast you if you sit down at that end of the table. Now I thought they roast you no matter what end of the table you sit on. But I thought they really roasted you if you sit down at that end of the table, because it was like, okay, you sitting here, you want us to say something to you, so we gonna say it. And so I only said, like I said, I really didn't say much. I really didn't interact with them like that. But I had my friends, they wanted to sit down there. So I guess we would sit down there sometimes. And sometimes it'd be funny, like sometimes it'd be funny. And then some days it was not funny at all, and he wasn't funny. But everybody knew that was just like the spot. So everybody like eventually just like crowd in at that one end of the table. And at this time, I think I had I think I was the girl that was in my video. She left me outside. She's not a part of the story, but there was the girl that we was mutually friends with that was a part of this story. And I remember her because I used to complain about how bad people did me when I was in school, and she used to get mad with me about complaining about. She said, and she was always like, well, if you're tired of it, then you need to just say something. She's like, she really get irritated with me. Like one time, y'all, she called my phone and cussed me out, like real talk. She cussed me out. I'm gonna tell y'all a story about her, but like she used to kind of make me mad with her because I guess because I didn't feel like she felt, or I wasn't acting like she was acting, or how she thought she acted about it. So she kind of like made me feel like I was dumb I really didn't like her to for real. I liked her, but like I didn't, because like I don't understand what she was trying to say. That's just not the way I dealt with things. So as somebody that's supposed to be a friend, I thought you should just be a little bit more understanding. Now we had a mutual friend, a guy, and all of us used to sit and talk together or whatever, and we were cool. So this day, like we all sat down. So we, like I said, we used to always crowd around it. Now, like I said, when I was around like people that used to pick on me and stuff like that, I really didn't talk. I didn't have much to say to them. I did that very often, and so sometimes I would act like he wasn't there. Like I wouldn't listen to him. I wouldn't talk to him. I wouldn't act to him. I wouldn't interact with him. I wouldn't even look his way. I would just busy myself with either eating my lunch or talking or listening to other people talk, or talking to my friends. That's how I would do it. Now, we didn't sit directly by them, but we sat close enough to them that we could hear what they were saying. Now, that's how I know they used to like roast each other at the end of the table, because we sat close enough to hear what they were saying. And so, like I said, they used to go in on everybody at the end of the table, like everybody. And I tried to sit farther from them so I wouldn't have to interact with them or whatever. And so I remember one day, I sat in my usual spot with my friends, and I didn't talk to him. I didn't interact with him. I didn't even look at him. And all of a sudden, he just, I guess because I was doing him like that, I guess he got mad. So he just started going in on me. Like I wasn't laughing at his jokes. I never laughed at his jokes because he was not that funny to begin with. But he just started going in on me, y'all. Like I gave y'all an example once before, but if y'all don't know, everybody went in on me about the regular things. Oh, you're big. Oh, you older than everybody. Oh, you've been kept back a lot. Oh, you're black. Just like all that type of stuff. Like it was always things like that that, you know, people used to go in on about me, just used to go in on me about. And at that point, like, I didn't like it, but I had just grown accustomed to it. Like, it's just, that was all they could come up with. That was all they could say. Now, I was older than everybody. I am a plush pal. I got that from somebody else. I am a plush pal and black. And baby, ain't nothing wrong with my melanin. Let me just be honest with you. Ain't nothing wrong with my melanin. It clearly ain't nothing wrong with my melanin because you like the black girls. So, really, is that really the issue here? Is that I'm black? Because we can all see that I'm black. I'm melanin, baby. Melanin. Anyway, he was just going on in on about me. Now, the one thing I can say about me is that my skin color has never been a major issue for me. That's the one thing I am so blessed to say that I have never had a problem with my skin color. I love being a chocolate baby. My family loves the fact that I'm a chocolate baby. The man that I'm gonna marry is gonna love the fact that I'm a chocolate baby. I am a chocolate baby, okay? And ain't nothing wrong with me being a chocolate baby, okay? Just so you know. But anyway, that was like the one thing they could never just like really kill. They could never really get a reaction at me about, because they were black too. Some of them were blacker than I was. That's just how how it was. I think he was more mad because he wasn't, and I was, you know, because this melanin I got, all this melanin I got was bothering him. That's why he was really upset. But like I said, he was going in on me. He was going in on me about the norm, everything that I already knew, everything that everybody else went on in me about. People. The thing about it is, people were never original with their comebacks at me. Like, they were never original with it. It was always around the same things, about the same things. At some point, I was like, "Can you get some new material, please?" Because all this is just like really just like boring me. I be yawning, hearing everything they have to say. Like, really? That's all you got? I mean, you funny, but like, is you really? You keep coming back with the same material? Get some new material. It's not working anymore. Nobody's laughing anymore. And I was right. Nobody was laughing. But like, they were always go in on me about the same exact things. And so this day he was going in on me, and I remember I had got tired of it. I had got tired of him, really. But I had got tired of it. And like, the way they would work was like, they would do it sporadically. Like, they was never like constant with it. And if they was, it was never the same person. It was always like different, multiple people. They were never actually constant with like the comebacks. Like, I might hear from him one week and the other guy another week. It was just like depending on, I believe they took turns with this shit, because like, it was never like the same person. But I guess this week was his week. And so he went in. And I got mad. I don't know if I said something, but I know I got mad, and I got up and I walked out the lunchroom and I went to the bathroom. And so when I came back to lunch, like, he had calmed down. He was basically just looking at me laughing about it, because I guess he had got the reaction that he wanted from me. He wanted me to get upset. And he just looked at me and started laughing, and then he moved on to something else. So my teacher, when I was leaving lunch, my teacher asked me, was I okay? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. She said, do you want to go to counselor office? I said, sure. And so, y'all, this was the same counselor, like, I think this was the same counselor that actually gave me the advice to consider dropping out. That was in high school. I'm sorry, it's not the same counselor. That was when I was in high school. That was the counselor that actually taught me into dropping out. Anyway, she didn't talk me, so she just suggested it. Maybe you should look into getting your GED if this doesn't work out for you. You know what I mean? Because I was older, so like, but that's another story for another day. But we went to the counselor. She asked me if I wanted to counselor. I said yeah. So I went into the counselor, and you know how that goes. Like, when you having a disagreement with another student, it's the same old spiel. Like, it never changes. Like, oh, are you okay? Is everything okay? What happened? Can you tell me exactly what he said? And they make you make a list out, or she'll write it down. But she would write down what I said. And then she's like, well, do you mind if I call the student in question up and we can just have like a face-to-face conversation. And I already knew how it was gonna go. This was like a regular occurrence, y'all. Like I stayed in the counselor's office, in the principal's office, complaining about the same stuff, which is why I say this school really just like letting me down. They really dropped the ball. Both schools, the middle school and the high school, dropped the ball. Like I said, I had some really good teachers, but I had some really awful classmates and some really bad teachers that really didn't care, and a principal who really didn't care, principals who really didn't care that, I was constantly under attack, constantly being, harassed, bullied, messed with, and they didn't care enough to do more than make a list and tell the student to leave me alone. But that's as far as they went with what they did. He sits down and he see me. He automatically knows. He automatically knows what's about to happen. So she starts. So she say, Mr. Flip Flop, that's his name, Mr. Flip Flop. Miss Ambry here, Miss Yasmin here has been telling me about some of the things you've been saying to her, especially today. And I just want to read off a little bit off, and so she reads off the list. And she was like, why, she was asking him questions or whatever, and he was like, and she was like, why do you continue to keep messing with her? Why are you saying these things to her? Do you think that's okay to do? Or whatever like that. He was acting like most of them do, like nonchalant about like, nah, it's not right. Nah, I'm wrong. Yeah, okay, whatever. Whatever. Get over it. Just like real nonchalant about. She'd tell him to stop and stuff like that. Just the usual. And like, he didn't take it seriously. And at this point, neither did I. None one of us took it seriously because I don't been through this before. You don't do anything. I'm gonna be back up here in a week with the same problem. It's gonna be somebody different this week. The next week though, and in a couple weeks I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be in the principal's office with him. Like, it's just, I don't see the point in this or why we're doing this. What is the purpose? So she do all that and we talk, and then at that point she like, okay, well, she like, we end the session, and she sends me back to class first. And so I guess she waited a little while, and then he leaves and comes back to class. And like I said, he didn't mess with me no more after that, but nothing really changed. Like, the next week, he was back at it again about something else or with somebody else. Like, it never felt like that's why I said like the school system was a major letdown when it came to me. They just, I'm one of the ones they let slip, and I probably should have been the ones they should have been watching, because sometimes the people that you underestimate or you don't count be the ones to come back up on you and show you just how bad you underestimated them. So I would watch out if I was y'all. I'm coming back with a vengeance, okay? It's not over with. I'm speaking to the school system when I say this. It's not over with. Because when you slip like that, when you let students down like that, they don't forget how you let them down. They really don't. They come back ready for war. That's what happens. And you just released a monster into this world. So I would be very, very careful if I was you. Because I am going to have kids. I am going to reproduce. And when I do, you better hope that I be as courteous as my mother was to the school system with my children. So prepare yourselves. Anyway, moving on. So like, after that year, I really didn't see him a lot. I think maybe we had like a gym class together when I was in high school. He was still on the same stuff, but I didn't pay him enough attention to care about what he was saying or what he was talking about. And I really didn't care. So, let's jump to GD school. So, about this time, I want to say that I was maybe a couple years in at this point. Probably 3, maybe 4 years in. And I had been there for a while, and I was kind of like OG there. Like, I had been there for a minute. I had like made relationships with some of my classmates, some of my teachers. I was like, really, I had seniority at this point in there. And so when he came in with like a group of people. So it was him. It was like a lot of young people when he came into class. And when he first came in, I was kind of taken aback that he was even coming in. I was like, okay, he's here, whatever. I I wasn't mad at anything, but I was like low key irritated. Like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this. So he comes in. He, like I said, he came in with a group of people, and including a girl, a black girl. Now the black girl he came in with, I think he liked her low key because he's always flirt with her. But like she used to kind of make me mad a little bit because like some of the statements she would say and stuff like that. I remember one time we had got into a discussion in class about life and where we want to go from here, and like what we plan to do after we, achieve this, getting our GED. And I said, I want to work, I want to, try to get a career, but I really want to have kids. And like she went on this whole rant about, why she didn't want to have kids and she'll never get pregnant and all of that bull crap. And just like really tried to make me feel bad for wanting them. Like I don't judge anybody that doesn't want kids. That's not my place to. I just know in my heart that I want them. And I've always wanted them. I've always made the point to say that I want them. But for her to like try to make me feel bad for wanting them, like it was crazy. And it's funny too because like 2 years later she came back or whatever. And I was just about finished at this point. She came back or whatever. And sis was whole pregnant with a baby, a whole baby. I said, ain't you the same girl? Cause she had left. I think she had almost finished actually. She came back and had a whole baby. She was whole pregnant. I said, ain't you the same girl that said that you was never gonna have any kids? And look at you, you got a kid. And you tried to make me feel bad, but now you're pregnant. So, anyway, back to she's irrelevant. So, like I said, he came in with her and another guy. And so he used to come in high all the time. Like, all the time. Like, his eyes used to, like, be bloodshot red. I don't have no problem with people smoking weed, but I have a problem. I have a problem when you come to class like that. Like, you should just know better. Like, it was like he literally rolled out of bed in the morning, y'all, and smoked the blunt. Like, that's just how bad it was. And, like, the teachers had started complaining and stuff like that. And, like I said, so I didn't tell y'all this, but, he actually didn't drop out of school. He left school because he had got into, like, a little trouble with the law. And so I guess because the trouble was so bad, they said, okay, well, maybe it's not the best idea for you to be in high school. So they pulled him out. And he enrolled himself in the GED class so he could get his diploma. And he was in his senior year when he did that. So when they did that, so he really didn't understand how come they even made him do that in the first place. But he was in his senior year, and so they pulled him out and made him drop out and go get his and he went and got his GED. And so, like, he had the parole officer because he had a parole officer. So he basically was like he had like a curfew and all that. He had to be back in the house at a certain time. I don't know what he did, but I just know he had all this going on. And I think he had a baby on the way. Now, that's what I heard. I don't know if it was by sis, but he had a baby on. I don't think it was by sis because when he told us that, she was actually in the class with us. So I don't think it was by her, but I know he said he had a baby on the way. But he and the teachers would have to sign off on his paperwork. And I remember he used to come in high as a kite trying to get the teachers to sign off on his paperwork so he wouldn't get in trouble or so, like. And they would always be like, nah, you have to participate. You have to, come in class and sit down and stay the whole time. You can't just come in for the first period class and then ditch later because you don't want to be here. You have to stay the whole period class if you want me to sign these papers. The thing about him was he was actually doing pretty well. Like, he had started taking tests and everything. Like, he was doing really, really good. And it irritated me because, like, how is he coming up in here? I've been in here for how long I've been in here for. I ain't got nowhere near tests, but he come up in here and he thrived. It was actually irritating me how good he was doing. Like, I wasn't praying for his downfall or anything, but I was like low-key irritated why you come here and you doing better than me. But he was doing a lot better than I was. He was taking tests, and I think he was getting close to finishing or whatever. So around this time, there was like some things going on in the school, and I think my teachers believed that it had something to do with some of the students in the GD class. Cause like I said, there was a lot of young students coming in, and I think most of the students that was coming in was like trouble students. Like they were having trouble with the law, they were in trouble with the law. You know, it was just a lot of things going on at this point. And so there was talk about a student selling drugs outside the bathroom. I mean inside the bathroom on campus. And it was like a whole thing. And she was basically like telling us, like saying, like, we know who it is. There's cameras out there. We know who's doing it. We know when you go into the bathroom, when you're doing it, and you know who's buying and stuff like that. She said, if you're doing it, she said, I would suggest you stop. Cause like I said, she said, we know who it is. We know where they are, and it's just a matter of time before we get them. And she was basically like just warning us. She said, please take heed. She was like, please take heed to what I'm saying. Just stop doing it. And I think that was like one of the, like when he had came in high or whatever, and that's like when it popped in her head, like, you know, I need to go ahead and say something about this, so they know that we know what's going on. And he acted all nonchalant, and like he was surprised, like he can't believe somebody ended up doing it or whatever. I don't believe it was him. I don't believe he's stupid enough to bring that stuff to school. I think he was just smoking before he came to school. Like he wake up in the morning, roll a blunt, smoke it, and then come to school. This is what I think he was doing. I don't think he was stupid enough to bring it to school. He might have had it in the car on the way to school, but he wasn't in the school smoking it. That's what I feel like he was doing. I think I know who was doing it, but I'm not gonna say. But I think I know who was doing it. But he was like acting all nonchalant and surprised and stuff like that, talking about that was stupid and people shouldn't do that and stuff like that. Like the idiot just didn't walk in the classroom high as a kite. Anyway, so like I want like a week or two later, we was in class and back. It had been, I think at this point, I think it had been more than a week actually. It had been a couple months. He hadn't come back yet. Like he had left one day and did not return. Now, I thought maybe he had finished, but he didn't. Come to find out, dude got arrested. He got in trouble and he went to jail, and that's why he didn't come back. But we didn't know that though. I thought maybe he had finished. That's why we hadn't seen him in a while. But no, bro got arrested, went to jail, and he in prison. Now, I don't know if he's still in there. I don't know what's up with that, but I just know he went to jail. And I graduated 2 years later. No, so kudos to me. I'm sorry for you, sir. That was not fair how that happened. And I think it was kind of wrong for them officers to pull him out like that and then he had to sign up and go get his GD his senior year. Like that really didn't make sense because he was at the finish line. He just had to wait to get to the finish line. Like that was stupid to me. But his senior year, he got pulled out, dropped out, and came to get his GD. That was crazy to me. And I don't think he ever got it. I don't know if he's still in jail or whatever. But if you are, sir, reap what you sow. In so many words. That's why I say you should always be careful about how you treat people or how you talk to people or what you say to people, because you never know how the other side might end out. How the other side might turn out. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect or that my life is great, but it ain't too shabby and it's better than the holding cell. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. If I was a little shady, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be shady. But sometimes when you feel blessed, when your blessings are, you know, when you can count your blessings and you've been a blessed person. I consider myself to be a blessed person. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm a lot better than where some people are. And I wake up so thankful and so grateful for that every day. And you know, I'm not saying that it makes me happy to see somebody low, but you know, it almost makes me want to work harder so I don't have to be that type of person. So I don't have to be that low. So I can be a better person. Hopefully he's a better person. Hopefully he's a lot better off than where he was. I know this video, I mean, this happened a while ago, so I'm almost certain he's not in jail anymore. This video, I hope you I hope you enjoyed it. Like I obviously like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, what you want to see, what you want to hear. I will do my best to make that happen for you, and I'll see you next one. Bye.